Okay, so a few days ago, Samini had the issues be about concerning African dancehall.
Yes,
Afro dancehall, and you be a fan of dancehall reggae music. Let's take it from baby free. We can be free. Dancehall is not Ghanaian,
of course.
Generally, a near yedia. I say yeah, we say yeah.
An adoption.
Okay, let's list dancehall artists so far from the 90s.
Okay.
We have Root Eye.
Yeah.
We have Sonny Bali. Yogi Dogi. Madfish. General Marcus.
Hey, the Godfather.
Kofi Kumelson started like Kofi Kumelson.
Even Sammy B was also doing a lot of reggae dance of freestyles. Yeah.
Okay, Big Brother Africa.
Yes.
Then now Sammy B, back in the day, was starting movie.
Charlie, but before you continue, so Sammy B, my blessings actually continued from him. When I was leaving where I was trained, me, Apietus, James, all those people, Case Frequency, not me knew how I was going to stand because I had worked for a company all that time. And as Sammy B said, don't worry, I'm going to set you up.
Right.
I'm not linking me to one senior god DJ, your friend Jolutu, no set his studio, mommy. Sammy B, this is a free Big Brother buy and change. I don't for no. No, I bet you studio nini. Obi chuma. Sammy B didn't know because okay. The boy be how used to, like he's into engineering. Come and work there. I want to change Kase. Samini, like he brought all the top people guys to my studio.
Wow.
So Sammy B there.
Then the list we have Shatarako, Bandana, now Shatawale,
yes,
Batman, Samini,
Stone,
Stone Boy,
Episode Jupiter. The lists are many.
You're trying to move in. Oh, you're from giving a problem.
Oh, but yeah, Buba do now.
So, Memete dancehall king.
Okay.
Africa dancehall king. A timer. One Samini ne tiny TikTok kangaroo.
Yes. That verse, Samini clearly redefined what we were doing and what was going to happen ahead of time. Because as at that time, nobody, he said, me are the African dancehall. That was the first time. I mean, we knew all the guys, but nobody had the courage to say, I am the African dancehall king. No. Even from General Marcus, Rutai, they were just doing their dancehall thing. But nobody had the nerves and the balls to say that only a bad hip lifer, the grandpapa. It's the same thing. Let me show you. Like, Talking Drums was doing, the people were doing rap before Reggie Bae. But then, now Obian to me, Akukudron can say local rap. And a Ghanaian rap, and a hip life rapper, me, the Godfather, because of share movement na say, on a commercializing movement, what I say, certain internet says so many times, bandana bandana from Ghana, all of that, they were all in the game, but then because they all wanted, they wanted recognition from Jamaica. So nobody wanted to behave like Ghana dancehall, Africa dancehall, but they just wanted to be pure dancehall. It was Samini boldly came out to say that, listen, this is who I am. I'm the king of the African dancehall, period.
Also, this song was shown on MTV.
Yeah,
this video.
That was the first video that went international, shot by an international producer, Gail Green.
Yeah,
I remember that was the first time we saw MTV in Ghana. Then we forget that was the first time MTV came to Ghana. Period. You can't change that.
No. But you see, look at where he's coming from. To date. I think he's the first even artist in Ghana to make a whole reggae dancehall album. Rainbow, no.
Oh no, prior to that, I think I'm sure there has been
full
reggae albums. Yes, there have been. It's just that, you see, it didn't blow that big. Of course, because of his pedigree, level or drop BPR, a lot of attention goes on it. But then, fact remains fact. When it comes to coining the name, and you know something I would say jitum. Tam na can say high grade. We are African dancehall. I remember Wale's camp were using that to dissess because to them inti say either say we are dancehall Jamaica for you or to African dancehall. In their understanding, it means like water. Down. That's why you're friend African. Do you understand? That's the interpretation they were given. But then, in Tiasiana, wanna say, however you see it, Jamaicans are Africans. That's one. The rhythm is embedded in we blacks.
Yeah.
You understand? So, it's just saying that the branch of what they do in Jamaica is what is in here. But we didn't want to be like, we wanted them to endorse us or make us, for lack of better words, let me just say, but within our context, we are using our rhythms. So if you notice, back then, I'll play dance or beat, but then I'll make sure, say, our percussions, African rhythms, our melodies were mixed into it, into already beat now, or your verse in patois, tosia, or the chorus number 3, local. So what happens is that the street were able to digest the content because chorus was made in a language they could easily understand. Then the verse, we take it a step further to get the masses outside. And that was what we called Africa. That was how we were Africanizing the dancehall. Yeah. And that time, today I'm surprised that some people, but you see the good news is the internet is always there. It will always refer you when you used to fight against this word African dancehall. And today you want to own it simply because now it has come to stay.
I don't say stone the near I Twitter honor I did stone for the say stone where Afro dancehall.
Let me
I
say me home. I've tried to stay out of it because for me
voice.
Exactly. So you see, Stone started saying Afro dancehall.
Okay.
Yes, that's a pure fact because Utie kangaroo nyongwea. Samini didn't say Afro dancehall. He said African dancehall king. You understand? Then Stone being a junior grade from in our ranking, high grade. Stone then was a junior grade. So his first album, I think, was called, junior something. I've forgotten the album I produced.
For Stonebwoy.
For Stonebwoy.
Okay.
So then I'm trying to give you a history how the whole thing happened.
Is it the race?
Grade? It should be grade 1 or something. His first album.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was, I remember clearly. I mean, this is not something that we have to even debate about. Clearly, I remember one of those days, Stone wanted to show, say, a crazy dancer head. And he produce beats in or Jampea. He will go all out, pure patois from beginning to end. And then it's only those of us who are dancehall headed were able to relate. And don't forget, in the Godfather, yes, Samini Beba Sanyum Nasuno, no, I yet 4 bars patois, no, the tree are what ending, no. Until you won't say, or more performer, the crowd are able to relate. So we started telling Stone that, I know that that time there was this beach competition. Shatawale and Stone them will go to the beach to go and do who is the who is the mothers and all of that. And so Stone's mindset was to beat, was to show that he's doper than Wale from that time on. And we used to tell him that, listen, yes, to show that you are doper than him is cool, but then you need to own a niche and own the market and own your following. And Ghana here, no, Patois is not a first language. And you don't want only the Jamaican speaking community to relate to you, but you want everybody to what? To be able to relate to you. Yeah. So we started pushing him to start infusing our local language. Now Stone comes from where I come from. We are Ewes. So his strength no So if you remember, go back to his first song I produced, Hills and Valley. That was my first rhythm, trigger rhythm. The version. We have to make sure that after all the patois and the English, he infused Ewe into it. Then the second song, Rat Race, he did the same thing. Then he kept going. So gradually, he was also carving a niche similar to what Samini was doing. Do you understand? Yeah. Now, let's get this clear to our listeners. By that time, Wale had done what's
Dancehall?
They did not hear Dancehall King. That's his song that reigned before he paused. Mokoho. And if you listen to Mokoho, it was purely tree mixed with. It wasn't purely a dancehall thing. You understand?
Okay.
So
to say argument near the other one the African dancehall king,
good,
and one Afro dancehall.
Okay. So clearly, if you listen to the beginning of Stone up until now, Stone has been charting a course.
Okay.
From he's been doing dancehall, reggae, Afrobeat, then Afro dancehall. Now we need to understand, or say to me, defining all these genres, and then we can know which one falls here, who does this and who does that. For me, Afro dancehall is just anything Afro is just African rhythms. End of story. So, if I'm a hip hopper and I'm in Africa, definitely what inspires me is my nature. The African nature around me inspires my content. So definitely it has a root of African and then a branch of the hip hop. After all, even hip hop originated from Africa. It's a linguistic conversation thing. That's all. So now what it is that Afro dancehall is just saying that Afrobeat mixed with dancehall. End of story. Because listen to any Afrobeat jam that Stone was featured on. You see him having Afro melodies and then using patois as the lingua to ride on the beat. End of story. You see Samini, you can even give Agbaja to Samini and he will use African melody and then mix patois in his language onto it. And clearly, you know, that's what it is. For me, Samini clearly defined his African dancehall territory and owned it. End of story. Stonebwoy, yes, Stonebwoy started preaching Afro dancehall. And when he started, people were even laughing at him. I remember vivid, especially SM. They were like, because SM wanted to always be like, yeah, original dancehall. No? We didn't say any Afro, and I didn't say any, you know that thing. That was their mentality. Until Edu baby while in social say or the kekpani, other things na any 100% dancehall here then frame. I feel the whole argument around original dance, social say yes, shift it, tone it down from on because now he has 1,000,001 songs that were nothing to do with pure dancehall. And he has 1,000,001 dancehall songs that were purely authentic dancehall, which all of them have clearly done. Stone can give you a list of dancehall songs and move to reggae songs. Wale too can give you. Samini will give you a full reggae mash-up album and give you all of that. So clearly, back then, it was just, we were just too, for lack of better words, now you copy too much to want to be like Jamaica for painting. I say those days, yeah, because hip hop. obi rapping with Trimu and say it wasn't as authentic as maybe Manifest rapping in hip hop. That's the same argument that came into dancehall. And in those days, if you remember, people were trying to pitch Manifest and Sarkodie and all of that, and most of them, the urban cloud people were trying to pitch their conversation. Say, essence Manifest is poetically in the Queen's English and all of that, so it is more than hip hop. But no, the rhythm, what he was doing is defined by the rhythm. You understand the genre? And what Sak was also doing is the same thing, but they just use different means of because I can't go to China and then say I'm going to do hip life there, and I want to communicate with them, and then I end up speaking in Tree or China. I said they might just jump to the rhythm, but in Semna me pese memo mutia say from where we come from, they might not be able to understand. So it's just prudent and wise say I'll fuse a little of my language and a little of their language so that we better see we so better say. To conclude this whole conversation for you, me I don't even see an argument. Do you know why?
They're not computers, right?
No. How is it that Stone, being a son of Samini, he's never even ever stood anywhere to say he's competing with Samini. He's always called Samini his godfather. Yeah. You understand? And I don't think Samini is actually trying to put up an argument, say he owns Afro dancehall. No. Because me know your status fact clear from that time
to date. The first jam that went international on TikTok's jam, he said, I am the African dancehall king. Stone has always been preaching, I am the Afro dancehall king. You understand? Wale was the one who was preaching, I am the dancehall king. Do you get it? Let's clear it. I am the dancehall king. Samini has always been saying, when it comes to I am the African dancer. So when you enter into the territory here, I own this there. Now in Africa, why they dancehall? Apart from minimum of your dancehall.
There are the Zambians. I've been to a lot of Africa. There's dancehall artists in South Africa. There are Kenya. Yes, Kenya. The Eastern Africans love, so if you notice, Jamaicans and reggae festivals do go to that side. West, no. We don't really, aside Ghana, no. So that's how come say when it comes to Africa, it's like we champion dancehall in Africa. Because within all those other places, you know,
Francophone,
they know say if they want to do anything reggae dancehall, they always.
Imagine say Obia dancehall no the French in too.
There are French dancehall artists. Yes. Oh, there are plenty. There are plenty French dancehall. Have you heard of a Chinese hip hop artist before? Plenty. French hip hop artists. Plenty. French dancehall. Chinese dancehall artists. Plenty. Even the Arabs also have their versions there. You see, what we need to. I will say. Unim say obi betumi aye adowa in French. Unim
say language now.
All he needs to do is say obenya adowa rhythm. Not in the vibe na to so. So unim say yewe timing, structure, the melodies are he's good to go. Because let's clear this thing. Say me fa abranti amache de day ninyumben. I don't want to make a mistake, but there's here on Iron Boy. If you play that song and you mute the vocal, it's purely reggae song. Do you know that?
Yeah.
That's a pure reggae instrumental. So if Alpha Blondie, if Beanie Man, if any of those people get that instrumental and do a freestyle self on it, what would you call that? Would you call it High Life?
No.
But do you know that we call Amachi the Days a High Life artist?
You
understand? Let me go to Kojontri. Take any of Kojontri's songs for me right now, and then just mute his vocals. They mute in the vocals, na beat no kwambo
reggae.
Nama your friend is saying Rutai, Shatawale, Stoneboy, and Champion, ma Alpha Blondie, ma any Jamaican artist. It tends to what?
Reggae.
But what do we call him here? High Life artist.
Why that's more?
Do you know why?
Reggae.
We have missed the explanation. Yeah, no, high life, to say, so be to your local dialect, na your friend high life, so to tree, so to gun, and your friend high life. But that's the mistake. It's the rhythm that is the definition of the genre, not the language. Never the language. Unless person can say, Benihi preach you brofuma and a Christian. Which pastor? Any local pastor preach you no. It's the same thing. It's just the language. Our problem here is that we have always and constantly defined our genres per the language. And that's the mistake we have always been having. The rhythm is what makes it. Because if you take Papa Yanssen's song, Papa has no reggae songs that I'll remember. If you take Papa Yanssen's song, you take Konimo's instrumental, and you give it to Beanie Man to ride on it, I will call it Halai or Amponsan. I won't call it dancehall or reggae or any other thing. But that has always been the mistake. From
the language in
the language attributed to the genre. Meanwhile, it is the rhythm definition is what it is. Period.